Okay, so welcome back. This is the second one in the popcorn and puff washcloth bundle. And this one is going to use a popcorn stitch, but it's going to have a popcorn stitch with single crochets. So not something that is commonly done. So it's exactly the same except you're using single crochet instead of double crochets. But you make it the same way. So you make the 4 stitches, take your hook out and put in. But we'll go over that when we get to that. Now this one I'm going to adjust as well. So if you want to adjust it, your initial starting chain needs to be in multiples of 4 and then add 2. So we'll come to that closer as well. So it's not going to be as easy to adjust, but still fairly simple. And as for all of them, I'm going to use Knit Picks Dishy. So this is a worsted weight yarn. I do recommend that you stick with a cotton because cotton is more absorbent. It's a natural fiber, so it absorbs the water more. If you've got an acrylic or even an acrylic, like a cotton blended with acrylic, you're going to find that it is less absorptive than 100% cotton. Okay, so do stick with that. Dishy is designed to be a dishcloth, so it's the ideal, and you get 100 grams per bowl. So for me, you can get a really big one, or you can get a couple of 2 or 3 middle size. So good value for money, in my opinion. Okay, and we're going to use a 5mm hook. You can adjust that for your tension. So if you find that your work is quite loose, then go down a hook size. And if you find that it's quite tight, then go up a hook size. But always match it to your yarn. So you will find, depends on the type of yarn as to, or the brand as to how they show you, but they will generally have a hook size on there somewhere. Or at least the brand cheaper ones have less information, so just keep that in mind as well. All right, should we get started? Okay, so something else I forgot to mention is this one is all single crochet and single crochet popcorns. Okay, so if you know your single crochet, which is your UK double crochet, then you are going to be set. Now we're going to do an initial chain. So in the pattern, the original chain was chain 42. I'm going to do this smaller. So we're going to work in multiples of 4 and then add 2. So I'll probably go, just to keep them roughly the same size, I'll probably go to 26, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 2 lots of 4. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 4. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so that's 6 lots of 4, so keeping them the same size. So that's my base chain, and then I'm going to add 2. Okay, so multiples of 4 and then add 2. And that's my chain. All right, so row 1. So row 1's simple. We're going to work in the second chain from the hook, and we're just going to do, so I'm working into the bumps, so you can opt to work in the bumps. That just gives it a neater edge, especially if you choose to not give it a border, or you can just work into the V. But whatever you do, just be consistent in what you choose. Okay, so I'm just going to work in that second bump from the hook and do a single crochet, and then I'm just going to keep doing 1 single crochet into each chain along. Okay, so just continue doing that down to the end. So that's what we're looking at, just a single crochet in each stitch till the very end, and then you can do a chain 1 and turn. Okay, so I'll meet you back for row 2. Okay, so we finished around row 1. So we don't count the chain 1 as a stitch for any of these rows. So what we're going to do for row 2 is we're going to start with a single crochet in that very first stitch. Then the next one, so this part we're going to repeat. So we're going to do a chain 1, we're going to skip 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet popcorn into that next stitch. So to do that, we're going to, oops, didn't need to yarn over. So we're going to do 4 single crochets into the same stitch. Okay, we're then going to pull up that loop so you can take your hook out. You're going to go back to that first one so you can see the little V. You're going to go into that part there. You're going to insert your hook into there. You're going to insert your hook into that loop and just pull it a bit snug. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through. So exactly the same way as you would make a double crochet one. The only difference is that you're making single crochets instead of double crochets. Okay, so we've made the popcorn. So the next part, we're going to chain one, we're going to skip one, and then we're going to do a single crochet into that next one. Okay, so there you, if single crochet is a UK double crochet. So again, we're going to chain one, skip one, and now we're going to do the single crochet popcorn into this stitch. So if you do purchase the pattern, this does have all the notes for how to make it, so you can always refer back to there as well. Okay, so we've made 4 single crochets, we pulled the hook out, we just pulled that up so we don't lose it. Insert your hook into that first single crochet, the loop from the 4th one, yarn over and pull through. Okay, so you can see we've got a little teeny tiny popcorn. Then chain one, skip one, and a single crochet into there. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. Chain one, skip one, popcorn. So use single crochet popcorn. Just pull my yarn. Pull that out. Insert in. Okay, chain one, skip one, and then we've got a single crochet. Okay, so you can start to see, if you hold it on its side, you can see you've got some little itty bitty popcorns that are hanging around there. Okay, chain one. So we've just done a single crochet, so now we need a popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it up. Then we chain one, skip one, single crochet. Chain one, skip one, popcorn. Chain one, skip one, single crochet. Okay, so in this row, chain one. So if we've done everything right, all we should have left now is 2 single crochets. So we're chaining one, skipping one, we're just finishing on that repeat. Okay, then we're going to chain one and turn. So now all the popcorns, when you turn, all the popcorns are going to be sticking out the other side. So you should have little bumps along the way. Okay, so we're going to start with row 3. Now row 3 to row 6 are going to be repeats. So you may want to take some notes, or if you've purchased the pattern, so if you purchase the bundle with all the patterns in it, which is the most affordable way to do it, then you can refer to the pattern just to help you along. So we're going to do a single crochet into that first stitch and a single crochet into that chain one space. So we've got a chain one space there at the end. Okay, then we're going to chain one, and we're going to skip the popcorn, and we're going to do a single crochet into that chain one space. And we're just going to keep repeating that until we've done all the chain spaces. So we're not working into the popcorn or the single crochets, we're just working into those chain spaces. Okay, so chain one, and then into the chain space, chain one, Some of these chain spaces are a little tricky to see, but we're just working in between. So you got the single crochet there. If you're talking UK, then you've got the UK double crochet. Okay. Oops. So this, it's always easier to work up when you're working into chain spaces. Okay, so that's the last chain space. So now we're going to do 1 single crochet into that last stitch. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn. So that is row 3. So your popcorns are now back on the front at the end of the turning, and you should have a row there that is just single crochet and chain 1s. Alright, so we're on row 4, and again we're just going to be working, after the first stitch, we're just going to be working into the chain spaces. So we're going to start with a single crochet into that first stitch. We're then going to chain 1 because we've got a stitch just there. We're working into the space, and we're going to do 1 single crochet into that chain space. We're then going to chain 1. And now this is where we're going to repeat. So we're going to do a single crochet popcorn. So what you're going to notice is the chain space is in between the ones from the row before. So we're going to do our single crochet popcorn into that chain space. Pull that up. Then we're going to chain 1. And then this next one, chain space, is above a popcorn, so we're going to do a single crochet into that one. Then chain 1, so we're skipping the stitch. Now we've got our popcorn into that next space. Chain 1, and then we've got a single crochet above the popcorn. So what you're going to find is that everything is moving across one. Okay, so this one's got the popcorn. So if you end up with your popcorns lined up vertically without one in between, so if this was here, then you know you've messed something up. You can either leave it that way or you can go back and frog it. Entirely up to you. Okay, so single crochet in that one, popcorn in this one. And we're chaining 1 again over the stitches from the row before. So there's the single crochet above the popcorn, chain 1, and then your popcorn. Chain 1. Okay, so we've got a single crochet. Now we've got 2 single crochets remaining. So what we're going to do is chain 1 so that we're skipping that first one, and then we're going to do a single crochet into that very last one. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn. So again, when we turn, all the popcorns are on the opposite side. All right, so row 5. So the popcorns, the odd rows, the popcorns are facing away from us. And this is the one where we're just going to end up with single crochets and chain 1. So we're going to start with a single crochet into that first stitch. And then we've got a chain space immediately there. So we're going to do single crochet into that chain space. And then we're going to start the repeat. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the single crochet. We're going to work into the chain space. Chain 1. We're going to skip the popcorn this time and work into the chain space. Okay, so chain 1, skip 1. So again, it's a lot like row 3. The only difference is the very start, because we have more of a gap, I think. Just rereading the pattern. Yeah, because the other one we've got a chain space at the very start, whereas this one we had a stitch. Okay, so we're just going to continue, chain 1, skip 1, all the way along. Yep. So finishing in that chain space, and we should have just the 1 stitch left, so we're going to work straight into that one, and we're going to do a single crochet, and we're going to chain 1 and turn. Okay, so you can see we've got all the popcorns out the front. So the other thing to keep track of to see if you're aligned is the first part of the repeat. Your popcorns are going to be, well, that's not the first part actually. The first part of your repeat, the popcorns are going to be inside. The second one, which is the one we'll do next, is going to be on the outside. Okay, row 6. So this is the last of the repeat. So repeating row 3 to row 6. So just keep jumping backwards and forwards to those if you haven't taken notes. All right, so we're going to start with a single crochet in that first stitch. We're then going to chain 1, because again, we're only working the chain spaces and we've got a stitch there. So we're going to chain 1. And as you can see, we're back in line with the popcorn. So we're going to do a popcorn, single crochet popcorn into that first chain space. Okay. And then we're going to chain 1. So chain 1, and then the next space, so we're above the popcorn, so we've got a single crochet in that one. Chain 1. Now we've got a single crochet popcorn, so you can see it's 2 rows. Well, it's more than that, but if we're looking at popcorns, the popcorn row is 2 rows of popcorn below where we're now matching. Okay, chain 1. So then the next one, because we've got the popcorn right there, is going to be a single crochet. Chain 1. Popcorn's further down, so we've got a single crochet single crochet popcorn, or just popcorn if you want. Just don't confuse it with other popcorns. I do love the texture that these create. Single crochet, or chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and your popcorn. So just keep alternating the popcorn and the single crochet. So 3. Chain 1. Oops, yarn's getting tight. Single crochet, chain 1, popcorn. Single crochet, chain 1, then single crochet in the next one. Chain 1, so we're going to finish with a popcorn in that last chain space. Okay, so we've got 2 single crochets left, so we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet into that last stitch. Okay, and then chain 1, and you can turn. So there's all your popcorn. So this is what it should be looking like now. So you're going to keep repeating rows 3 and row 6 until you get it to the length that you want. Finish on a row that's either a row 3 or 5, so a row that doesn't have popcorns, because you want it facing you, and you want to have, so when you've got it facing you, you want to have that extra row of single crochets there, just to keep it matching the bottom. Okay, so just keep going until you get it to the length you want. Could be rectangle, could be square, entirely up to you. And I'll meet you back for the border. Alrighty, so once we've got our washcloth to the size that we want, make sure you have finished on a row 5 or row 3 repeat. So the repeat that's got the single crochet and the chains in it, not the popcorn. You want the popcorns facing up towards you, not away from you. And we're going to start by just working into that first side. So for the first round of the border, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each single crochet and to each chain 1 space. Okay. So if you're using UK terms, that is 1 double crochet into each double crochet and each chain space. Oops. We're keeping this one as a very simple border. So if you wanted to add something different to it, so I do this base round. Potentially the next round, if you wanted to, you could add a fancier border, entirely up to you. I tend to leave them mostly plain. Though I do have one series that is all single crochet and then we play around with the border just to dress them up. Okay, so once we get to the corner stitch, so the last stitch on the row, we're going to do 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. And then we're going to turn slightly and we're going to start working down the side. So this one you're going to aim, we're working around the chain space or around the single crochet that's on the edge. And you're aiming for roughly 1 per row. Okay. And we're just doing single crochets again down that side. Oops. You don't want to space them too far out because you'll end up with your washcloth curling up, and you don't want them too far apart because you'll end up with it all ruffled. Okay, so if you do roughly 1 per row, I'm not counting, it doesn't matter what the stitch count is. If you're adding a different border, you might want to focus on the final stitch count and try to get it even for both sides. But for this plain one, it's just more about getting the stitches in there than anything else. Okay, so then when we get to this next last stitch, or it's the first stitch if you want to of the next one, we're again single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Okay, so then we're just going to repeat what we did. This side we've got mostly stitches, so just continue working into each stitch that you've got along there. It might be a little bit more difficult because it is the chain, like the base chain. Okay, so just 1 into each stitch. So I'm going to leave you there to do that now. So when you get to the next corner, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1 single crochet, just like you did in this corner. And then this side, you're going to work down the sides, just like you did there. And then finish with a single crochet, chain 1 single crochet, and then slip stitch to the top of that first stitch. Okay, so I'll meet you back here for round 2. Okay, so round 2, we're just going to keep this simple as well, and we're going to be doing 1, you can chain 1 if you want to start with, but we're going to be doing 1 single crochet into each stitch along each side, and then when we get to the corner, we're going to do the same corner, but we're working into the chain 1 space this time. Okay, so 1 stitch per stitch. As I said, this is just a very basic border, so if you wanted to add something fancier, do something different, then by all means you can. I do have a series which you can get the bundle on my store actually, which is all different borders that can be added to pretty much any project. So if there's a border that you like, you can practice it on a washcloth and then go and add it to one. Okay, so I'm trying to rush to the thing, so you can pause, you can fast forward, whichever you like. All right, so once we get to the corner, in that chain one space on the corner, we're going to do the exact same. We're going to do a single crochet, chain one, single crochet, and then the next side we're doing the same as what we've just done. So we've got one single crochet into each stitch. Just be mindful that that first one is going to be a little bit snug under those corner stitches, and then we're just going to continue that on all four sides. Okay, so focus on doing that, and then I'll meet you back to finish it off. Okay, so we can finish off just by slip stitching to that first single crochet and fastening off. You can see, think of the border as adding a frame to your work. Now, if you enjoyed that one, you might want to purchase the bundle so that you can practice reading patterns. There are 5 in the bundle. I'll have a new one coming out each week, and then we'll have a new bundle after that, but this is number 2 all finished. If you love a washcloth and you love to learn to crochet, then you also might want to look at joining my Hooked on Crochet Club, where we give you a lot more projects and you get access to me as well to help you with anything that you have. So if you're stuck on any project, I am there to help, and you'll get access to my complete library of washcloths. But there you go. There's number 2 in this popcorn and puff bundle. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.